Hey guys, the Happy Cultivator here, and I'm going to show you guys how to prep your beds for winter. So as you can see guys, my bed is finished. I don't have anything growing in here. It did have some beans growing in it. It was some pinto beans, but I've harvested all the beans. And now all I'm left with is an empty bed, which had a little bit of cover crop still in it. We have some clover going right here. Basically all we have to do is come through and take out all this old wandering Bermuda grass. And we just throw that out of the beds, and then we'll take care of that later. We'll throw it into the compost, and the compost should get hot enough to kill anything that's in it. So as this is no-till gardening, we're not going to come in here with any kind of cultivator because we don't want to harm anything like these worms right here. I'll show you. See, we got our little red wiggler right there. And that's why it is no-till gardening. We just come through with the tool that God gave us, our hands, and just pull all of this unwanted grass out. Just toss it aside. And then stuff like this clover here, you can just let it grow, or you can pull it out and just throw it in and it will mulch up. See, because we're doing no-till gardening and we use the mulch that we use, these grasses are really easy to pull up. And as you can see, we have our old mulch in here. Take that little piece of grass out. We have all our old mulch in there. We just leave that. That's how the no-till works, is all that just mulches back in. And this was very hard soil when I started this bed this past season. And now, as you can see, I can just wriggle my hands down, and then a little ways down I do hit some harder stuff. And this is a new bed. It's only got one season, and it usually takes a good 3-4 seasons for these things to loosen up. This bed I just started last season. It only had beans growing in it so far, and it will become a permanent bed later. But it needs the good hardy root systems in it right now to break it down, and it does have the worms in it, and they'll start chewing the soil up more too. And then as the years progress with the mulch, it will become really nice. After this season, it should be pretty nice. It's already getting, it's incredible how much better it is. This soil last year at this time, I couldn't even get a finger into it, and now, yeah, it's real nice. As you can see, this grass is coming right up. And then what I have here is an asparagus. So I just want to come around, don't harm the asparagus. It's actually got 2 spears coming up. And we'll just leave the asparagus alone. And it'll get overwintered as well without any problems. See, look at that. We've got another worm. Ah, there's another worm. Worms all over the place. That's what we want to see. As you can see, when you start mulching the soil, you really don't need a till anymore. All the plants that you're cover cropping with do it for you. And then with the help of your little wormy friends there, Yeah, all the work's done for you, and just your fingers or the till, and all they're doing is going through and trying to pull up the unwanted things like your creeping grass here. All right, I'm basically just going through to find all the rest of this grass. All right, now just get yourself some nice fresh straw and throw it on top. You know, just make sure you got all your grasses out, and then just take your soil and smooth it out. And then take your straw and start throwing it on top. Now just spread it out, make sure you got good coverage. Because this is basically just covering up everything and making it so no weeds can grow over the winter. And it'll also act to soften up your soil. And it gives the worms cover. So anything that's left in the soil, the worms will eat, and they'll compost back into the soil. Water this regularly. That way it'll give the chance for the mulch to break down and actually soften your soil as well. And then we'll come back in about 1 month to 2 months, possibly 3 depending on the weather and where you're at. And then we will pull this off and we'll start planting our cover crop.
This is basically how it should look when you're done. Just a nice little bed covered with straw.
So like I always say, guys, keep happy, stay stoned, and urban garden, guys.